This man is your friend. Hello, wargaming enthusiast, and welcome to my deployment phase. So let's see what I've got here. Whoa, camera. See, okay, sorry. The wonkiness of the camera is part of the general wonkiness of the game. It's kind of difficult to control and kind of loses focus. Never mind, never mind. Anyway, what we've got here is a company of submachine gun infantry and a platoon of T-34-85 tanks. The submachine gun infantry, as you can see here, is just bog standard infantry, except that instead of rifles, they're equipped with submachine guns. Some Pepeshas, some PPS-43s. That's it, pretty much. And they're great for close quarter fighting, and they're great for fighting in the woods. And it's my very favorite infantry weapon. So I decided to use them here. I didn't know we're going to be fighting in a village, but since we are, they will be quite useful. When we're taking over that village, fighting from house to house, I hope those SMGs will come very much in handy. So we've got two platoons. This is the first platoon, and this is the second platoon over there. And basically, their combat role is scouting. At least in the initial part of the engagement, they'll be running forward to take up good scouting positions in those houses over here and in the wood line over there, all across the map. They're going to be running quite quickly. This is the yellow lines indicate sprinting. Sorry. So they'll be sprinting about 350, 400 meters maybe. And once they get to the edge, they'll try to get into the house as quickly as possible, or just get on the ground and lay low and get to the edge of the woods and observe from there. It's a bit of a risky maneuver, but I think if we manage to pull it off, it might give us some dividends, because we'll be getting to the village much faster than the enemy, hopefully. Unless Mirek pulls the same thing, in which case we'll be generally even. I don't want to advance anymore. From this line forward, we'll be advancing very carefully, very slowly, and taking great care not to be noticed by the enemy too soon. Also, as you can see, my infantry has been given very short firing arcs. This is because I don't want them to fire unless they absolutely have to. So if they see some infantry way ahead, somewhere in the distance, they're not supposed to fire. They're SMG troops. It's not their job. The job of taking care of long-range targets is going to be given to the T-34 tanks. They're going to be our main sort of strike weapon. They're going to be taking care of any enemy tanks that we can find, especially if they're medium tanks and light tanks. That's going to be a job for the T-34. And if we have to assault on some infantry, we're going to use our tanks supported by infantry. In the initial stage, though, they will not be doing any of that. They will be waiting in relatively secure positions with firing lines available. So they'll be sitting right here in this clearing and looking towards the village. Whoa, camera. Come back. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, this wonky camera work will be a feature. I'm sorry. Anyway, so they'll be sitting here and looking down that lane of fire over there, and hopefully if anything passes through here, we'll be able to take a couple of shots. We have quite a lot of ammunition. We have 36 HE and 19 AP. That should be enough for this engagement, so we can be liberal with our shooting. So that's two of the tanks. The other tank of the platoon will be going right here behind that house. It's going to go around this field, because I feel I have enough time to get it there to that house, and I don't want it to bog down in the field unnecessarily in a very stupid position. I have to be careful with these tanks. They're my main asset, my main weapon here, and I don't want to lose them. So they'll be going there. You can see also that the tanks are carrying infantry. In fact, I had to split one of the teams here to fit on the T-34s, because an entire team cannot be put on one T-34 tank, so I had to split into two teams, which is it makes me slightly uncomfortable, but it's the only way to get them there fast. So hopefully they'll stay on the tanks until the tanks stop, and then they'll just motor to the woods and take positions even faster. Hopefully that'll work. Same thing goes here. There's a command squad aboard the company HQ, and I want that company HQ in that house over there as soon as possible, so they take a ride on the tank. When the tank stops over there, the HQ will dismount and get into the house, hopefully quickly and hopefully unnoticed. And the third platoon of infantry here is supporting the ISU 122 assault gun, which I put into my roster, even though it's not part of the original platoon. Come on, camera. Come on. Oh, jeez. All right. So the ISU 122 is a very heavy assault gun with a very, very big gun that's capable of penetrating Panthers from the front and Tigers from the front. So if we see any of those, that's going to be the job for this unit. It also fits quite a lot of infantry there, so I can transport a squad without splitting it. Camera. Okay. So that is going to move way over here. The ISU is going to stop here by the forest. Oh crap, okay. It has to stop here by the forest in order for the infantry to dismount. And when the infantry dismounts, the ISU will start moving along through these woods. Hopefully it won't bog down, and hopefully it will take up a relatively good firing position among the woods here. If this firing position is not very good, we'll have to figure out where to move it. I think an enemy might be lurking in this hill. I think he might want to come somewhere through here, and having a very strong gun here would certainly help. But what have I done? Alright, well, I've broken something there. I think I cancelled someone's orders. Oh, never mind. That's just infantry orders. Okay. You guys were supposed to go into that house as quickly as possible. You still have your firing arc, okay. You haven't got a firing arc, so firing arc for you. Not such a big firing arc. God, game, come on. Game. There we go. Okay, so those firing arcs will prevent my infantry from firing. That's a good thing. Once we get there, I'm going to plot the course again, because I think the infantry will get off only after this unit stops. So hopefully it will get here in about a turn, and the infantry dismounts as quickly as possible. Alright, so after this maneuver, my infantry will be winded, so probably after a first, I think it'll take them about 2-3 turns. So after that, they'll probably have to rest a little bit, which is great because they'll be doing spotting anyway, so they might as well. I won't be rushing them from then on. There's also one more thing in my army, in my roster, which is an IL-2 Sturmovik ground attack airplane, which is en route, apparently. I have no idea how air support works in this game. I've never ever used air support in the previous combat mission, which was Fortress Italy, and I have certainly not used it here. I hope it will work. I hope it will stop being en route at some point and start attacking enemy tanks, hopefully, not my tanks. But it's a great iconic airplane of World War II, and I just had to have it for my battle here. And it also has the advantage of being a tank buster and a very heavy tank, so hopefully if it gets here, it might take care of some of the armored assets of the enemy. I think the armored assets are my biggest problem in my opponent's roster. They might be heavy tanks, and I'll have trouble dealing with the heavy tanks because I only have really one good anti-tank asset. So yeah, if those arrive, hopefully the IL-2 Sturmovik will help me with them, as long as I figure out how it's supposed to work and how to give it orders or something. I didn't take artillery specifically because it's a meeting engagement and a small map, and I think an IL-2 will be much more versatile and much more sort of nimble and reactive to the situation than, let's say, a battery of Katyushas would be. So hopefully that's a decent and smart decision. Anyway, all that said, let's get on with it. I'll see you around.